We are gathered here today to talk about all of the books that I'm aiming to read in September, of which there are 11. Probably not going to read all of these in the month if I'm being honest. The majority are for Magical Readathon, and I know for a fact I'm going to read like 3 or 4 books that aren't in this stack throughout the month as well. The most important one is the book club book, which is A Time of Dread by John Gwynne. This one is the first book in the Of Blood and Bone series, which is set 100 or so years after the Faithful and the Fallen series. This is of course an adult epic fantasy set in a world that is occupied by humans and giants and contains a lot of Celtic mythology. My Patreon pick for this month is Graceland by Kristen Kashaw. This one I'm pretty sure is a YA classic, and it follows a woman who's really good at killing, who is trying to investigate the kidnapping, I think, of the king's father. Prince of Thorns by Mark Lawrence. This one is a grimdark about a 12-year-old boy who leads this band of gnarly mercenaries. We'll see how this one goes. An Echo of Things to Come by James Islington. I reread The Shadow of What Was Lost last month. Enjoyed it slightly less than I did first time around, but I'm still eager to continue. This one, once again, is an adult epic fantasy, kind of like a classical story structure and very reminiscent of Wheel of Time. For some of my Magical Readathon books, I have The Palace of Eros by Caro de Robertis. This one is a Greek mythology retelling, specifically following the myth of Psyche and Eros, but I believe that Eros can change their gender at will, and it's a sapphic retelling. The Temptation of Magic by Megan Scott. This one is dark academia with supernatural creatures, which I feel is really fitting for the season. The book that I'm most excited for in the month is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. Actually, already started this and having a really good time with it. It's like Interview with the Vampire, but with female leads. Toxic lesbian vampires. Atmosphere is on point. I do have a couple of audiobooks on my TBR, and that is books 3 and 4 in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. I'm currently partway through book 3, which is the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook, I think. But I have book 4 on my Magical Readathon TBR as well, which I think is the Gate of the Feral Gods. So we'll see how fast I get through book 3, whether I actually make it to book 4 or not. And then my 2 hopefuls, The Brave and the Reckless by Dylan Dyer. Little cowboy romance to spice things up a little bit of a change of pace. This one is on my Magical Readathon TBR if I don't use A Time of Dread for the same prompt. And if I manage to get to some of the other prompts that I don't necessarily need, I may pick up My Fault by Mercedes Ron, which I think is a super angsty new adult romance. And honestly, I live for the drama. If any of the books that I've mentioned here do sound interesting to you and you want to know a little bit more about them than I've had time to tell you here, I would recommend checking out my September TBR on my YouTube channel, where you'll also find my thoughts on these books as I read them throughout the month.